member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially in the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up, or why there's continued inflation, or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out, philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
When I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
And welcome to Phil's Gang, Coast to Coast Road and Country off the Wall Street Radio Network, my radio show and podcast. And by the way, starting Monday, we'll be doing the radio show and podcast every day, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, so what is amazing is how people forget. How they forget. You know, the clock comes back to 12. You can drown it, hit it, club it, whatever you want to do, but the clock always comes back to 12. And it's going to come back to 12 to the 1929 crash again. Now, I've been saying for some time the market's going to crash. I've been criticized as the market kept going up and up and up. And everyone say, oh, no, he's wrong. Phil's been wrong. It takes time for markets to crash. It's like taking a Queen Mary and turning around with a rowboat with 2 broken oars. It takes time. Markets just don't crash. We're going to today visit 1929. And you're going to take a look at 1929 and you're going to say, oh my God, we're worse shape now than we were in 1929. But nobody wants to believe it. They don't. IWM, the small mid-cap stocks, is one of the most important things to look at. That's right, IWM, small mid-cap stocks. They drive the economy. They're the small businesses. They're the startup businesses. They are a disaster. I'm going to show you today a chart that is so scary, you'll run to the hills when you see it. Because what it shows, cash balances, this is just like 1929, worse. Cash balances are almost at zero. Everybody's invested in stocks, just like 1929. As a matter of fact, if you want to take a look, you can look at the chart right now. I have it up. You can see the stock allocation in blue. Look at the stock allocation. Oh my God, people have gone nuts. Buy on the dip, buy on the dip, buy on the dip. They sure did. Look at that. But look at the cash balances. They have no cash. In fact, they're doing now what they did in 1929. They're borrowing money, leveraging. That's right. It's incredible. But it's just amazing. But everybody believes there's not going to be a crash. Everyone thinks that the government's going to come in and save us. The banks are too big to fail. Well, that's not the case. They're not going to save us. Nobody's going to save us. Because this has been set up for the 1/100th of 1%. The 1/100th of 1%. Not the 1%. I said the 1/100th of 1%. For them to succeed. This was set up back in 2008 for them to succeed. Here, listen. George Carlin talks about them. One of my favorite comedians. And listen to this.
You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
That's right. George Carlin. Absolutely right. Let's take a look. If we go back, again, if you can see my chart here, here it is. This shows you, again, the red line. It says cash balances. Look how dangerous this is. No cash. Everybody is in stocks. They're choking with stocks because they're all going to get rich. So let's take a ride back to 1929, okay? But first, before we do that, Trump is pressuring Powell to cut interest rates to offset inflation, which is being caused by these tariffs. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Now, when tariffs are imposed, prices rise, fueling inflation. That's the problem we have. We still have inflation. Inflation's going up. My Lord, you talk about inflation. People have no idea what's going on. I mean, prices of cars, just think of it. Used cars are up 23%. New cars are up 34%. Get this. Food is up 31%. Now, I'm talking since 2019. The fear among Americans losing their jobs and being unable to pay their bills is at an all-time high, just like 1929. But then go look at the chart. Look at my chart. Everybody's invested in stocks. And look at the PE ratios of these stocks. The PE ratios are insane, are nuts. People don't care what they pay for stocks. They think they're just going to get incredibly wealthy, and they're not. The PE ratios are insane. Nosebleeds. Food up 31%. Can you imagine? And I was listening to somebody over the weekend tell us how food's up 2%. This guy hasn't gone to a supermarket, obviously, in 2 years. He hasn't gone to a supermarket. What's wrong with him? 2%. Is he nuts? So the stock market crashed. Let's go back. Remember, since 1922, the stock market started to go up more than 20% per year. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? That's right. 20% a year since 1922 to 1929. It would never crash. It would never go down. They would save the market. All that same crap. Well, the stock market did crash. It crashed in 1929. Just like today. Just like today. It's a collapse of stock prices, remember. Here's the difference. We are in a collapse of stock prices. That's our problem. But people don't realize that. They just don't get it. They really don't. They don't get it. I mean, when you have the S&P, the PE ratio at 30, that means investors are paying 30 times more than the company's earnings. Are you nuts? That's double. It's a historic 16 PE. The NASDAQ PE ratio, 42. That means investors are paying 42 times more than the company's earnings. And that's 39% more than the PE ratio. They're insane. People don't care. They're just buying stocks. They're going to get rich. So, from 1922 to 1929, the market kept going up. 20% every year. October 29, 1929, the Dow dropped by 30%. Worst ever. Worst ever. Oh, and let me tell you, this is nothing compared to what's going to happen to this market. I know nobody wants to believe it. Black Monday, Black Tuesday, worst percentage decline ever. Why? Overconfidence. Does that sound familiar? Do you think we have any overconfidence in this market? Oh, this market will never come down again. Oh, he'll never come down again. The banks are too big to fail. He'll never come down again. Overconfidence. PE ratios. Crazy. They'll never let the market crash. Setting the stage for the greatest depression ever. As savings and businesses all got wiped out. The only people who survived the stock market back in 1929 were those who knew how to short the market, and that's why here at Phil's Gang, we always talk about shorting. Learn how to short the stock market. And we have the charts in which it shows you how to short. For God's sakes, learn how to short. Nobody's that good. No one's that good that they can go out and buy stocks and make money just buying stocks. Think about it. Think how good you have to be to just buy stocks to make money. That's impossible. You've got to know how to sell short. But people don't care about shorting. They don't even want to know about it. Let's talk about the timeline of what happened, because we're going to follow that same timeline. You better get used to this. It's going to be the same pain. I know you don't want to hear it. You're going to say, I'm wrong again. Phil's wrong again. The market's not going to crash. Well, I wasn't wrong. In 2008, I wasn't wrong in 2001, 2002. I wasn't wrong 2018. We had that little crash. Remember, I wasn't wrong. I called that crash just 3 days before it happened. 3 days before it happened. I said, the market's going to crash. Start shorting stocks right now. It's going to crash. And it did. The first day of the crash was Black Thursday. The Dow opened down 305 points. It dropped 11%, 10% correction. Volume was up by triple. Institutions were propping up the market, trying to hold it up. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Institutions trying to prop up the market. On Friday, October 25th, more money was plowed into the market to keep the positive momentum going. J.P. Morgan, all of them are plowing money in, printing money, plowing it into the market. Keep that market going up. The Dow rose by 0.6% to 301 points. The Black Monday, October 28th, the Dow fell 13%, 260 points. Black Tuesday, October 29th, it fell again, 11%, 230 points. So think about it. The Dow rose by 301 points, and then it fell by 260, fell by 230. Get used to it. This is what you're going to be facing. New York Times, October 30, 1929. Panicked investors sold an unprecedented number of shares, 16 million shares to be exact. Black Monday and Tuesday were among the 4 worst days in Dow history. They were followed by 2 subsequent crashes. During the 2020 stock market crash, with nearly 10% drop, okay, or March 12th, and 13% drop on March 16th, a 22% decline on Black Monday. Financial climate leading up to the crash, I think, just kept getting worse. The Dow was already down 28% from the September 3rd high. Now, I'm telling you this because I want you to get ready. You're going to see the same thing. We were in a bear market. Investors, Clarence Hardy, his company lost $1 billion in one day. Back then in 1929, in one day, they discovered he had used fraudulent collateral to buy U.S. steel. The Dow dropped again on October 16th and the 19th and the 20th. Oh, remember what they said? Oh, the market will never go down again. Oh, no, the market will never go down again. They won't let it fail. That's what they're saying now, too, isn't it? Washington Post headline blared out. Huge selling wave creates near panic as stocks collapse. New York Times blares out. Black Thursday, the worst stock market crash in history. From 1922 to 1929, remember, the stock market had gone up by more than 20% a year, and nobody ever thought it would come down again. Nobody. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Effects of the crash. The crash wiped out people. Unbelievable. They were forced to sell their businesses, cash in their life savings. People were committing suicide. Brokers called in their loans when the stock market was failing. People scrambled to find enough money to pay for their margins. They lost faith in Wall Street. You can't have a healthy economy without confidence in the market, remember? That was July 8th, 1932, the New York Times. So what does this all mean? The clock comes back to 12. Be prepared. Learn how to sell a stock short. That's all you got to do. And you'll be fine. Don't sit there and think you're just going to be okay by holding.
Want more
Buy and
information on the
hold?
show?
What are you,
Go to
nuts?
philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
I still think the economy is going to prove to be resilient as it has been for the past 3 years.
Resilient for the past 3 years? Where's this guy been? Resilient for the past 3 years? Where's he been? What's wrong with these people? These people are nuts.
And by the second half of the year, we'll see the economy continue to prove its resilience, earnings hanging in there pretty well, and so I think the second half is when the market moves ahead to new record highs.
Is this guy drunk? Is this guy drunk? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with these people? We got a real problem. The problem, the economy isn't growing, but debt is. Remember, debt has been growing, but not the economy. You can't, every time that the consumer confidence starts dropping off, would you stop, please? Powell, would you stop going in and increasing the money supply? For God's sake, stop increasing the money supply. What the hell is wrong with you? That's all he does, keeps increasing the money supply. You can't do that. That's insane. That's all he does, keeps increasing the money supply. He's out of his mind, he's nuts. Just like, again, Trump has got to go back to what he does best. Get rid of deficits, increase productivity. There's no man on this earth that can increase productivity better than him. Stagflation. We're going to end up in stagflation. If we keep going down this road, we're going to have stagflation. If you keep pressuring Powell to cut interest rates to offset inflation, which is being caused by tariffs, when tariffs are imposed, prices go up. That fuels inflation, which in turn slows economic GDP growth, causes high unemployment, causes high prices. Yes, that's called stagflation. Stagflation is a killer. A killer. Don't you remember the 1970s? Most of you are too young. You don't remember. I remember. Stagflation is a killer combination of higher inflation, slow growth, high unemployment, mixed with high inflation, and even worse, it has no definitive cure. Let me repeat about there is no, stagflation has no definitive cure. Don't you remember the 70s? My God. Banks, even before stagflation has settled in, which it's already settled in, nobody wants to admit to it, are carrying $258 billion in unrealized losses. But they won't realize them. They'll sit there and lie. January 15th, JP Morgan lied, said they made $43 billion in profits. Goldman Sachs lied, $14 billion in profits. Citi lied, $20 billion in profits. Wells Fargo lied, $22 billion in profits. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They lost $258 billion. Because under the law, under the accounting rules, they don't have to realize those losses until they sell those losses. So if they have FHA 1 million mortgages in default, they do not have to sell those mortgages. They can, as long as they hold them on the books, they don't have to sell them, they don't have to realize them, and they can come out and lie and say we made 14 billion, 20 billion, 22 billion, and nobody says anything. Nobody says anything. Oh, you did? Oh, that's wonderful. Wow, what good earnings you made. No, they didn't. They don't have to even talk about the $1 million in defaults with the FHA loans. Don't have to even talk about it. They're still reporting profits. They don't have to disclose unrealized losses. In the 1970s, we had one of the worst bouts of stagflation. We're going to get another bout of stagflation. Remember the spike in oil prices from the Arab oil embargo? Remember that? I do. I was in the oil business. I was a driller. I was in the oil business. I remember. But when the Fed tried to fight inflation by raising interest rates, the economy fell into a recession. Then, to get the economy out of the recession, the Fed lowered interest rates like a bunch of morons. That resulted into higher inflation. What the economy is now experiencing due to Trump's tariff policies is stagflation, but nobody's going to admit to it. So take a look at my chart here, please. I'm begging you. If you don't want to believe me, and you want to keep saying I'm wrong, everybody's been saying I've been wrong for a long time about we're going to have a crash. And I keep telling you, we're going to have a crash. Anybody can see that. Okay, but it takes time. It takes time. What the hell do you want? You think you just say, oh, a crash is coming? Don't work like that. I remember 2018. I'll never forget that crash. I called that crash about 5 or 6 months in advance. It takes time. But look at this. Cash balances. Don't you know what this means? Look at it. People don't have any cash. But look at the amount of stocks they own. And by the way, this chart right here that you're looking at, Willie found this chart for me. What a great job he did finding this chart for me. Look at that. Beautiful. God, people just don't realize what's going on, what the consequences are.
The banking system, seems to be in good shape.
How can the banking system be in good shape when there's $758 billion in losses? $758 billion. Of that $758 billion, 1 million are FHA loans that are upside down. How can he say the banks are in good shape? How can he say that?
We don't think there's a recession out there in the cards.
We don't think there's a recession out there. Have you heard so many stupid people? These are the dumbest people ever. The dumbest people ever. Unbelievable. I want you to take a look at another chart here. It goes back from October. Look at this chart. If you notice this chart, the S&P was above support. See that line there, that white line, support? Then it was above support again. But look what happened in August. It dropped through support. And since August to today, we cannot hold support. Don't you understand what that means? When you can't hold support, that's a ticking time bomb. Please learn how to short. Please go to my site, philsgang.com. Please sign up. 10 days free. Learn how to sell short. The only people that made money in 1929 were the people who shorted the market. Now, gold, GLD. Let me tell you what's going to happen with gold. I told my members today gold's going to pull back. Now I'm talking about the gold stock, GLD. Okay? Now we did fantastic in gold. We're up about, what, 12% in gold? 10%. We're about 10% in gold. Beautiful. GLD. Nice and safe. We got it in perfect. Look at our color-coded chart. Our color-coded chart went from red to green. Do you know, 25 years ago, I figured out, and I'm going to show you right here, I figured out 25 years ago, I said, who are these morons, okay, that have a chart that shows the candlestick red when it closes on the low of the day, has the candlestick green when it closes high on the day. What good does that do? If you're a day trader, you're a scalper, yeah, sure. But what if you're a position trader like me? I like to be in stocks anywhere from 5 days to 5 months. That's how I make money. So, look at this. So when it's green, it's telling me money is going in. Look, money's going in. That's all I want to know. When it starts going down and it's green, it's warning me money is coming out. Phil, you should take some of your money out of the stock. And I did. And then when it turned red, it says, Phil, sell short. Sell short. And I did. Look at that. Doesn't this make sense? What sense does this chart make having green, red, green, red? It looks like a friggin' Christmas tree. Are you nuts? What do I want a Christmas tree for? I want a chart that tells me where's the money going. Now take a look at the next chart. Next chart. When you buy on green, you sell on red. Now there's some knockoffs out there. I developed this 25 years ago. I have over 225,000 people who've used this chart over 25 years. Now that's got to tell you something. Don't you think so? And all these people try to knock these charts off. They're all out there trying to steal my chart. This is the original chart right here. This works beautiful. And it'll even go from green and it'll turn yellow, warning you, hey, it's going from green to yellow. Now, here's a nice one. Look at this. This is what they call a sweet spot in a chart. 80% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know what a sweet spot is. A sweet spot is that part in a chart, that point in a chart where you get the most people buying at a rapid speed. You get most people buying at the shortest period of time. You get this influx of money that's coming in so fast at a short period of time. It just goes up. And you see the 9% sweet spot? That causes a 9% sweet spot right there, 9%. If you want to go the rest of the way, 35%, you can go ahead and do the rest of the way, 35%. Now watch this. Now when money's coming out, look what it does. It'll go from green to red. And look at the sweet spot, 32%. We made 32% in a sweet spot. That's the spot in which money comes out so rapid, so fast. What a beautiful thing. It's a sweet spot. This is what you need right here. This is what you need right there. Now, here's another one. Another sweet spot. Look at that. Okay, so, again, if you're going to try to make money in the stock market, okay, you got to remember, please, people lose money in the market because they look at too many stocks. My members stay with the same 6 stocks all year long. 6 stocks. And they go long, they buy them, and they sell short. Once you learn how to go long and you go short and you stay with those same 6 stocks, and what you wait for is the pattern. It's a buy signal. It's a buy signal. It gives you a pattern when to buy. What is better than a pattern to buy? It gives you a pattern to sell. It works. It works. So, you have, again, a great opportunity coming your way. Don't be fearful. Everyone's fearful. Oh, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. So what? Let it crash. Who cares? Let it crash. Because we're going to make money as the market goes down. If I only could just knock your heads together, get you to understand, when money comes out of the market, it goes down. So why can't you just turn around and you see it turn red? Why can't you position yourself so when money is coming out, you're making money as it goes down? Or it'll turn green, make money as it goes up. Either way, we're here to help you. Look, join my gang, free for 10 days. Check it out. Also remember, when you're making some money, send a little money to St. Jude. Send the check directly to St. Jude. Help them out too, okay? We're here to help you. We have fun doing it. Learn how to short.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.